As a building manager, you need better information when it comes to managing your assets well. That information should be up to date and so detailed that you know everything from installation date for an electric panel to when the last structural inspection occurred. Also, all of that information should be digital, accessible from anywhere on any device at any time. And, of course, it should be really easy to use. The best way to do all of this? Create a 3D digital model, otherwise known as a digital twin, of that structure and keep it in an actively managed platform. This entire process is called Building Information Modeling, or BIM. Sounds like a simple solution, right? Historically speaking, that's not the case. While it's more manageable to create digital information in new buildings, all too many buildings were built prior to the digital age. Record keeping wasn't as precise throughout each building's life cycle, which made it much more difficult to recognize safety hazards. As those issues slowly slip through the cracks for decades upon decades, minor flaws become major structural issues. Two examples of this include the recent Champlain Tower South collapse in Miami, which was caused by long-term degradation of reinforced concrete structures in the underground parking garage and corrosion of reinforced steel. That killed upwards of 97 people. The second, 2017's Grenfell Tower fire, where defects in the building's cladding caused a malfunctioning fridge freezer fire to spread wildly throughout the 14-story building. That killed over 72 people and injured over 70 more. While BIM doesn't necessarily keep those tragedies from happening, better, more detailed records and maintenance schedule information goes a long way in preserving compliant, structurally sound buildings. The Grenfell Tower tragedy led to the UK government's implementation of the Building Safety Program, which called for the removal of all ACM cladding from buildings higher than 18 meters. However, as of 2020, 315 high-rise buildings failed to do that. Why? Because housing managers found that gathering this information was both expensive and time-consuming. With over 56,000 people still residing in those buildings, an independent review by Dame Judith Hackett recommended BIM as a solution. Though, going back to structures developed prior to the digital age, all too many buildings were missing their original fire safety design information. For those buildings, the report recommends that the government should work with industry to agree on the type of information to be collected and maintained digitally. But there are a few problems you're likely facing. Consortiq's John Gore breaks them all down.
At Consortiq, we've been working with digital geospatial information for a number of years, building expertise in techniques to not only capture accurate digital replicas, but also in finding ways to make this discipline meaningful to our customers. 3D modelling is a skill in itself, but more important is what you do with that model once you have it. When we developed our digital asset modelling services, we started by learning the pains and day-to-day operational challenges of our customers and work backwards from there. Typically, we find that they know what BIM is, but don't have the vast expertise required to do it themselves. Additionally, people have been tasked to solve this problem as a secondary duty outside of their area of expertise. They know they need better information, and they even want better information, but their stock is old and wasn't built alongside a digital twin or even reliable drawings. Now these buildings are occupied and landlords don't want lengthy and intrusive surveying works. They are scared something will happen because of out-of-date or unreliable records, or not embracing opportunities to adopt technology that can help them understand their portfolios easier. There are incoming regulations that require social housing landlords to have digital information, but it is not clear what standards to adopt or how to achieve this within the time frame.
Sure, you want to create digital twins and to implement BIM, but here's the challenge. In order to create digital replicas of those buildings, you need to pull information in multiple formats from many different resources, which poses a great challenge, especially if you're not an expert in things like LiDAR, panoramic images, floor plans, and point cloud. And without a user-friendly asset management system, it's difficult to add key information on assets such as fire doors, smoke detectors, and cladding. With so many barriers, it may seem like too tall a task for you to take on. You want your buildings to be structurally stable and code compliant. You want to keep your tenants and visitors safe. You need that peace of mind. Fortunately, there's an easier solution, a better way. It's called digital asset modeling. John breaks it down here.
Focusing on these day-to-day operational pains, we have built a service that addresses them quickly and efficiently by utilising the very latest automated surveying technology. With Consortiq's digital asset modelling service, you find that we make BIM easy. We know that it takes an immense amount of resource and expertise to implement BIM in your organisation. We take the pains of data collection and BIM implementation away with our unique approach to data collection and our software partners that make working with BIM simple. We understand the challenge of trying to capture buildings buildings that are occupied accurately, and also that it's important to minimize disruption to residents. We've developed an accurate and highly repeatable method of capturing buildings quickly and reliably whilst keeping tenants happy. And our hosted service gives people in multiple disciplines the tools they need to begin putting the digital twin at the start of the golden thread of information. You can create asset tags and anchor them to points in 3D space, meaning there's no confusion about what is damaged and where it is. The information can be viewed across various platforms, and access can be tightly controlled based on the operative's function. And there's no need to spend money on complicated and advanced digital tools that require training for your team. Our platform works intuitively in a way that people already know.
Now that you know there's a great solution available, and it's got everything you need to comply with regulation, maintain the integrity of your building, and preserve the safety of your tenants, what makes Consortiq the best team for the job? Here's John again.
We are experts in drone technology and have experience applying this technology to a multitude of different surveying applications. Over the past 6 years, we've helped clients cut down their surveying costs by an average 60% simply by utilising aerial sensor technology. We utilise highly automated data capture technologies to reduce human error and greatly speed up the process. What would take a surveyor weeks to measure takes less than a day with the LiDAR scanners. We provide surveying accuracy to within 1.2mm for internal scans and sub 5cm for exterior scans. Our software platform of choice acts intuitively, allowing users to interact with complex 3D models, BIM, floor plans, and other data as if they were navigating on Google Street View. This means users can quickly pick up how to use the platform and begin working in three-dimensional space without expensive retraining. Additionally, we can take simple 3D models to BIM maturity level 2 by using annotation tools to add asset and defect information to objects in 3D space.
Digital asset modeling checks all of the boxes on paper. It's fast, reliable, highly accurate, and user-friendly. But how does it compare with other methods of data acquisition? Is it less intrusive to your residents? And how quickly do you get your results? What value do you get as a client? Here's John with more.
With our services, you get a building information backbone that is valuable and usable, rather than simply impressive or novel. We have focused on working with platforms that give you the tools you need to embed BIM in your organisation successfully. This is an industry-first service, with it being widely regarded that there are very few, if any, solutions available that meet the requirements of robust BIM implementation. A 2020 report by BIM for Housing Associations stated that it was unlikely such a platform existed to allow the integration of BIM to maturity level 2. Our service meets the definition of this maturity level by enabling our customers to integrate rich asset information with a three-dimensional visual representation. This service is quicker and cheaper than traditional methods of data acquisition, whilst ensuring accuracy and reliability. Comparable methods are manual and time-consuming. It currently relies on a surveyor taking measurements of each space in the building from the inside. For external surveys, there are only two current ways to do this. One, they are scaffolding, which is extremely expensive and can take in excess of 3 months to complete. Or two, using long-lens cameras from the grounds, which can be crude, unreliable, and lack coverage. With our revolutionary internal scanning methodology, we can complete a full interior scan in just 1 day and return a completed 3D model in under a week. For exterior surveys, the highly automated drone captures thousands of images of your building in just 1 day, with the mesh modelling process taking only 2 days to complete and be delivered to you in your desired format or uploaded to our platform.
Alright, so you're ready to learn more, but you want tangible results. Did this work for others? If so, how? What do you need to get started? Here's John one last time.
We recognise that the kinds of high-rise buildings that our clients manage are fairly basic in design. This means that they are effectively a design of an individual floor plan that is repeated over many floors. We are able to gain efficiency by analysing the building in advance to understand its layout and decide how many flat archetypes require scanning to accurately recreate the building. For example, we work with a client in Greater Manchester who have a number of 16-storey high-rise buildings in their stock. This capture comprises a ground floor core of utility, community and management areas, and a residential core that comprises 2 stairwells, a central corridor, risers, lift shafts, and residential flats. By scanning the stairwell at each end of the corridor, we are able to create a spine that we can use to anchor scan replicants upon. We then scan each individual archetype, in this case 4 unique designs, allowing us to reproduce the entire layout of the floor whilst only accessing 4 occupied dwellings. We are then able to repeat the floors as many times as required to create an interior digital replica. In summary, we created a digital replica of the building, accurate to within 1.2 millimeters from the inside, whilst only having to inconvenience 3% of residents in their dwellings. We have also commenced asset tagging works, understanding the organization's information requirements and structuring their asset data in a way that enables operatives to easily identify existing and add new assets. Assets are tagged in the three-dimensional space, anchored against visual representations, and have a URL deep link that enables integration with third-party asset management systems. For example, a fire door that is listed in an asset database can have a link associated as a property, and when the operative clicks that link, they are taken to it inside the digital model. Reciprocally, operatives working in the model can find more asset information by clicking the link in its custom properties that takes you to your asset database. Our service starts with a consultation to understand the size of our customers' portfolios and requirements for data outputs. We have a range of services for all organizational sizes, from data acquisition only, such as capturing scans of the interior and producing the 3D models, through to fully managed solutions where you'll have access to the platform to manage your buildings and its assets in 3D space.
Digital asset modeling by Consortiq solves both your immediate and long-term concerns as a building manager. You'll have all of your maintenance schedules, installation dates, floor plans, all of your building information in one user-friendly, easy-to-navigate, secure platform. On behalf of myself, John Gore, and the rest of the Consortiq team, I'd like to thank you for joining us. We look forward to speaking with you and helping you find a better way. I'm Ryan Schaefer. Thanks for watching.